President Donald Trump is reaching his first 100 days in office.
Also, downtown Summerlin hosted an event that welcomes all families and furry pets. We have all this and more. You're watching Studio G.
Good afternoon, Rebels, and welcome to our Thursday episode of Studio G. I'm Annabelle Rocha.
And I'm Nicole Soto. President Trump has officially stated he has decided to renegotiate rather than terminate the North American Free Trade Agreement after speaking with leaders from Canada and Mexico.
I will hold on the termination. Let's see if we can make it a fair deal, because NAFTA has been a horrible deal for the United States. It's been very good for Canada. It's been very good for Mexico. But it's been horrible for the United States.
President Trump has left himself some wiggle room on the trade deal, stating he will ultimately terminate NAFTA if he is unable to make a fair deal for the United States.
So I decided, rather than terminating NAFTA, which would be a pretty big, shock to the system, we will renegotiate. Now, if I'm unable to make a fair deal, if I'm unable to make a fair deal for the United States, meaning a fair deal for our workers and our companies, I will terminate NAFTA. But we're going to give renegotiation a good, strong shot.
Meetings for the negotiation have not been set, but we will keep you updated on the deal.
The Department of Homeland Security announced Wednesday the creation of an office to help families that have been victims of crimes committed by undocumented immigrants. As part of an effort by President Trump to crack down on illegal immigration, the office, called Victims of Immigration Crime Engagement, or VOICE, will be housed within Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the agency responsible for deportations.
All crime is terrible, but these victims, as represented here, are unique, and they're all too often ignored. They are casualties of crimes that should never have taken place, because the people who victimized them should never have been here in our country. These crimes in many ways were preventable, but because of years and years of policies complicating immigration and enforcement efforts and a politically correct approach to public safety, there are mothers who will never again receive a Mother's Day card from a son.
This comes shortly after President Trump slammed the judicial branch. Around 6 a.m. on Wednesday, the president blasted out 3 tweets tearing into a California judge's decision to block his executive order that threatened to cut funding to so-called sanctuary cities that limit cooperation with federal immigration enforcement.
There is something profoundly un-American about using the brute force of government to bully someone. That's what President Trump tried to do with his executive order. We said no, and today the United States District Court agreed.
This was such an arbitrary thing to do. It doesn't have a nexus, and really it was clearly pushing an agenda that is not consistent with what our community wants and what the values are here, and we're not alone.
The Trump administration has argued that sanctuary cities allow dangerous criminals back on the street, and the order is needed to keep the country safe.
Donald Trump is approaching his first 100 days in office as president. Yuri Andreashuk has the story.
Donald Trump has had a start to his presidency unlike no other in recent memory, amid controversial comments and actions in office, which include a plethora of executive orders. He has definitely come under fire on numerous occasions. Trump's first 100 days in office are approaching, and many wonder what to label this term thus far. The country seems to be more divided than ever. Opinions are split, and Americans are wondering what can change and what Trump can do to try to unify the nation. I caught up with UNLV students to receive their assessment of Trump's first 100 days in office.
I feel overall he's not doing, it's not going well. I'm sure we all predicted that. Starting wars and everything else in between. It's lackluster, to say the least. I don't think he's in a position turn things around or anything like that. But it's embarrassing. I think things will worsen the deeper that Trump goes into his presidency, because he's already not really staying on the straight and narrow. Issues I feel he should focus on that need to be handled is just unity. I feel ever since he came in, the rift that he caused between blacks and whites, it escalated. Obama had it, I won't say under control, but you know, Obama did his thing while he was there the best way that he could. But as far as Trump, if we can just focus on unity and just not so much be so racist and prejudiced, and just minimize conflict as much as possible. That's just pretty much in a nutshell what I think he should do.
Whether you love Trump or hate him, there's still a lot of work to be done to get Americans to come together as one and work together to build a better nation under Trump's presidency. For Studio G, I'm Urian Dryashuk.
It will be interesting to see how the country will progress with President Trump in office moving forward.
President Donald Trump's promise to be tougher on trade is being met with a tariff on lumber exporting from Canada to the United States. Trump has implemented an over 20% tariff on softwood lumber entering the U.S. from our northern neighbor. Even though Canada is the second largest trading partner of the United States, Trump insists that this is a necessary move. U.S. timber producers complain that Canada has a leg up from them because their lumber is harvested at a cheaper rate due to it coming from federally owned land, while American lumber is mostly grown on private land. Trump says that he doesn't want the U.S. to be taken advantage of.
People don't realize Canada has been very rough on the United States. Everyone thinks of Canada as being wonderful, and so do I. I love Canada. But they've outsmarted our politicians for many years.
This has not been an ideal week for U.S. and Canada trade relations. Canada has applied changes to their tariffs against the U.S. milk product imports, which President Trump has called a disgrace that is not good for U.S. dairy states. Retaliation is occurring in both the states and in Canada. Over 30% of lumber used in the U.S. comes from Canada. This decision on tariffs is not being taken lightly.
So if we don't have a ready supply of framing lumber, Canadian softwood lumber, it'll slow down the construction process, slow down the economy, and it lead to increased housing prices.
We are going to fight for you, and we are not going to give up this fight until it is won.
The tariff is to be effective immediately and will continue until further decisions have been made on the issue.
When we come back, we'll take a look at your latest entertainment news.
Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Nutrition Center. Anyone from the Las Vegas community is welcome. We can get more people into the Nutrition Center, get them more educated, then they can learn what ways to prevent chronic diseases and to become healthier individuals. All classes are held in BHS building, Bigelow Health Sciences, room 212, and the times vary, but you could always check them at the UNLV calendar or UNLV Today, and all the classes, times, and descriptions are available there.
Our Metropolis is a 30-minute show that airs every Tuesday evening at 91.5. You're going to hear Dr. Gary Larson along with our regular contributors talking about what matters to our community. And not only what matters, but why does it matter? We look at our community as a whole, but we also pay special attention to what's happening here at UNLV because that's our home as well. So looking at our Metropolis through the lens of a radio show really gives us the unique perspective to tell a story through words and through people, and I think it makes for a great program.
Welcome back to Studio G. Thanks for sticking with us.
Okay, ladies, now let's get an education. To celebrate the one-year anniversary of Lemonade, Beyonce has established the Formation Scholars Awards for the 2017-2018 academic year. The scholarship aims to encourage and support young women who are unafraid to think outside the box and are bold, creative, conscious, and confident. It's available to any female incoming, current, or graduate students pursuing creative arts, music, literature, or African American studies at Berklee College of Music, Howard University, Parsons School of Design, and Spelman College. Details and application deadlines are available directly from the colleges.
Jeff Goldblum found a way. Goldblum will reprise his role as the one and only Dr. Ian Malcolm in Jurassic World 2, the fifth film in the Jurassic Park series. Details have not yet been released as to how large a role Goldblum will play. Also returning are B.D. Wong as Dr. Henry Wu, Rexy, the original Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park, and the Dilophosaurus, which has not been seen since the death of Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park. The film will also include something the previous movies have not, an underwater action scene set in a submarine. Jurassic World 2 is set to premiere June 22nd, 2018.
Disney has revealed that the follow-up to Star Wars The Last Jedi, Star Wars Episode 9, will hit theaters May 24th, 2019, nearly a year after the still untitled Han Solo standalone film premieres.
And in other Disney news, Disney has released the dates for some big ticket items. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph 2 will premiere November 2018. 1 year later is the sequel to the 2013 hit Frozen 2, which will debut November 27, 2019. A fifth Indiana Jones movie is set for July 10, 2020, with Steven Spielberg as director and Harrison Ford, who will be nearly 78 when the movie opens, reprising his role as Indy, and the live-action adaptation of The Lion King will arrive in July 2019. Donald Glover is set to star as Simba, while James Earl Jones will reprise his role as Mufasa. Also joining the cast are Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen as the voices of Timon and Pumbaa, respectively.
As a good sign of the times, Harry Styles will appear in a week-long residency on The Late Late Show with James Corden in May to celebrate the release of his self-titled debut solo album. Starting May 15th, 3 days after the album's release, Styles will appear in each episode of the Late Night series. Styles will join Corden for various segments and perform a new song off his album each night.
I'm excited. I don't know what I'm most excited about, Jurassic Park or Lion King.
Well, no, The Lion King is the best Disney film. And there's rumors that Beyonce is going to play Nala.
Okay,
Yes.
You got the scoop right here on Studio G.
You heard it first.
Elton John's April and May appearances at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace have been canceled due to the contraction of a rare bacterial infection. According to a statement released by a concert promoter, AEG Live, after a recent tour of South America, John contracted a harmful and unusual bacterial infection. He reportedly became ill during his return home flight from Santiago, Chile. His doctors admitted him to the hospital, where he underwent immediate treatment to remove the infection. John was released after 2 nights in intensive care, followed by an extensive stay in the hospital, and posted a statement on Facebook saying how overwhelmed with gratitude he is, and assuring fans that he is getting stronger every day. John will return to stage in Twickenham, England on Saturday, June 3rd.
The new Netflix series 13 Reasons Why is inspiring heavily controversial debates on social media since its release on March 31st. The show focuses on a student who kills herself, blaming her suicide on 13 different reasons. Each episode focuses on the post-mortem reactions of her schoolmates and family members. The series has received both positive and critical reviews for its subject matter. Some fans have gone as far as incorporating the show into the new season of Promposals. 13 Reasons Why has also initiated a welcome to your tape trend online. In opposition, some are arguing that the show only romanticizes suicide. One post on Tumblr even read, quote, "Show writers and producers met with leading experts in the area to discuss ways that the media contributes to youth suicides, then did almost everything they were warned not to do." Before Netflix released the series, stars Dylan Minnette and Katherine Langford appeared on Access Hollywood. They spoke of their hopes that the show would initiate the important conversations about teen suicide.
Now, when you think about a show like this, right? You're going to deal with so many emotional issues for young people. What do you guys want to do with this show, in your opinion? Like, how are we going to positively affect change for people, spark conversation? Because there's a lot of kids that are going to relate to these characters and what's going on.
Well, yeah, that's the goal, right? I mean, these are all the issues that we touch on the show are things that happen to teens and people across the world every single day at an alarming rate, and that's why I think our main goal and what we're excited about is for this to start conversations and important ones, and for us to kind of have communication with these people who need help. To be put in that position feels really nice, and to be able to help people in some way, because I mean, actors aren't like saving lives and stuff that they do, but when you get a project like this, sometimes there are projects that can really help people.
Absolutely, it's a great topic, and it's something that we don't talk about a lot.
Yeah.
But it goes on every day.
Did you guys read the books?
You read it beforehand.
No, well, I think
Producers of the show have yet to respond to the online debate. Have you watched it yet?
I have not. Did you?
I watched it and I finished it, and it was
okay. So
hard.
it's a binge-worthy.
Yes.
Okay, definitely going to be on the list. Now let's take a look at our weather for today.
How's it looking, Kayleen?
Thank you, ladies. I'm Kayleen Talent, and I have your weather segment for today. So we are at 77, high is 83, low is 61, and it is looking pretty fair and sunny outside. But let's go take a look at what's happening in San Diego right now. This image is from SanDiegoTribune.com. Usually around right now it's like 68s, but today totally different, 70s and 80s, a lot of sun rays, good weather. So you could go ahead and enjoy a nice book outside like this young woman, or yeah, she's young woman right here, or you could go ahead and get a nice tan outside. Let's go take a look at our 5-day forecast. Throughout the week, on Thursday, we're starting at 83, but as we make our way throughout the week, it's going to be the 80s and 70s, but it's looking very sunny outside. Looking into our valley, we're at 79 in Green Valley, and we are at the lowest at 74 in Summerlin, so very consistent in the 70s throughout the valley. Very good weather. Here at UNLV, we're at 79, very fair outside. Wind speed is 17 miles per hour, so it's not just a slight breeze, but there is a lot of wind. But I mean, it's sunny outside, so I think it's looking very beautiful. But for tonight, we're at 61, mostly clear. So since it's very sunny, mostly clear at night, I heard today is the first day for Foodie Fest. So if you're going, I'm going to be there. I know Studio G reporter Giselle Delos Reyes is going to be there. You could go and, get some grubbing with us. We could eat together. We could have a great time. But let's go take a look at our national forecast. This image is from weatherchannel.com. Over in the West Coast for San Francisco and Los Angeles, it's 64 and 80. But as for Seattle and Portland, totally different story. They have a lot of rain, a mixture of rain and snow. As for Denver, Atlanta, and Charlotte, unfortunately, there are lightning storms heading their way. But that's all I have for your weather segment for today. Next, we're going to go and we'll be back and take a look at a bill that could be affecting our landscapes. There's more to come on Studio G.
Your community's farmers market. Welcoming, lively, friendly. A place where neighbors and friends come together to celebrate their community. With over 50 vendors, organic, sustainable, fresh produce are available just for you. Support and buy local at Fresh 52.
Welcome back to Studio G. Earlier this month, a proposed bill that would have frozen a housing development near the Red Rock Conservation Area was gutted and rewritten. I spoke with people on both sides of the issue to hear what they had to say. This gypsum mine, located just a few miles up Blue Diamond Hill, has been at the center of a 15-year legal battle to decide whether or not it is okay to build 5,000 new homes near the Red Rock Canyon Conservation Area.
If you put the housing development right in the middle of it, or even right, on the outskirts, something that big, that density, it is going to affect your view shed. It's going to affect the night skies. It's going to affect just traffic.
This notion that the property is in some way, shape, or form natural open space, when in fact it isn't. It's already been developed. So the question of whether or not the property is going to be developed, that's already been answered.
The most recent move in this battle happened when Assemblyman Steve Yeager set forth AB 277, a bill that proposed a 5-mile zone freeze around national conservation areas. This would keep developers from moving forward. However, the bill was gutted and rewritten on April 17th. The new bill would require developers who want to build within a half-mile radius of a national conservation area to submit a detailed environmental report.
AB 277 is in direct conflict with the congressional act that actually created the Red Rock Canyon National Conservation Area.
It's not fitting for the area. One of the reasons it's zoned 1 house per 2 acres, because that's called rural zoning.
You know, many times this low-density rural approach to land development, it actually consumes more resources.
And we're not saying he can't, build what you bought. We're just saying that why should we give you a 500% increase?
If you cluster the homes in more close proximity and you reduce the development footprint, you're able to preserve significant natural open space areas.
And so, after 15 years, the fight over this land continues. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Nicole Soto. At this time, Gypsum Resources is working to analyze the new bill, AB 277.
Every semester, the capstone course for the Hospitality College is turning out world-class fare that's affordable, even on a student budget. Our own food-loving Lee Guilford knew where to find the bargain.
I'm Lee Guilford, and today I'm here in the BEH building, where the Food and Beverage Capstone course is offering their Soul Food Kitchen.
It's Ryan Berger. I'm actually the general manager of this event. We're part of Team 5 at the FAB 467 Capstone class at UNLV. Our restaurant is called Soul Food Cafe. It is a Korean restaurant, just kind of a play on words with the name, but that was the assignment we were chosen.
Students have gotten together to create a food and beverage menu that features Korean food and Korean-inspired drinks.
We do have a veggie pancake with scallions and bell peppers served with a sesame sweet sauce, and a Korean spring roll with bell peppers, a pinch of crab meat, and served in a radish wrap. For entrees, we do have a bulgogi beef plate. It's bulgogi beef with rice and lettuce wraps, as well as a what's called japchae. It is a glass noodle salad with veggies mixed in, dried mushrooms, topped with egg strips.
Students in the class speak about what this class has meant for them.
Hi, I'm Jamana Massis. I am going to be a server for today. I definitely got to see a different side of being a manager because I was very self-aware and I was more observant than I would be when I'm a server. You're kind of like selfish. You're doing your own tables and you're making sure of your own customers, whereas in a server or as a manager, you're more observant and you're on like a global scale instead of a local server scale.
I spoke with a couple students about moving forward in their careers.
How much detail there is to just running a bar. It's like every little intricate thing, you miss one thing and it's just crazy.
My goal is to eventually be a property president, and now that I have this extra knowledge of, I had food and beverage experience, but now I have a bar management experience that I can it's all like the different puzzle pieces forming together so that I kind of have an overview of all departments and how everything runs.
If you'd like to check this out, head on over to BEH anytime next week between 11 and 12:45 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for your final opportunity to enjoy the Food and Beverage Capstone course. For Studio G, I'm Lee Guilford.
Food is being served from 11 to 12:45 today and next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week during those same hours. A full bar is also available for anyone who wants to join me.
Everything just looks so good. I can't believe I'm about to graduate. I've never been there.
Well, we're going today after we're done filming.
Today after we're done, Studio G, Capstone.
We're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I think we're feeling like excited about the prospects. We know we're going to drop a lot of time, hopefully break a few records, and I think that the team is ready to go.
I'm pretty excited. We've done very well as a team this year, and I think coming into Taper, I think we're going to do really well these next few weeks.
far as Studio G, at first it looks overwhelming, and at first it looks like it's a lot of work, but I'll tell you what, it's the most beneficial class I've had at UNLV to date, without a doubt. You get to not only develop stories and work on your interviewing skills, your editing skills, and your shooting skills from a camera perspective, you get to work on all the equipment that's in the studio. So you're working on audio, you're working on directing, tech directing, you get to produce your own show. You can take a 30-minute newscast and make it your own. And that's really cool about Studio G. Like I said, a lot of it seems overwhelming at first, but it is by far the best class I've taken at UNLV since I've been here.
You don't get to do an internship, you have to do an internship. It's one of the requirements for a journalism major. You have to do an internship before you can graduate.
Definitely having an internship as a requirement really helps push yourself out there and to just remind you that your graduation is coming up soon. You're going to have to need some work experience in your career. So it's really good to put yourself out there early on, and they tend to help students a lot more. So when you do a student internship, it really helps out a lot.
Wow, back already? Welcome back to Studio G. Downtown Summerlin hosted their 5th annual Family Festival, where many local businesses and entertainment gathered together for families around the valley. However, the fun was not limited to just people, but their pets as well. Joselle De Los Reyes has the story.
Downtown Summerlin hosts their Family Festival that features many exciting vendors, including one that welcomes furry friends. The festival featured a pet pavilion section where various local pet organizations gathered together to welcome all kinds of pets, with the Las Vegas Pet Scene magazine being one of them.
We started the Las Vegas Pet Scene magazine about 6 years ago, and it was to bring the pet community together and also to have the adoption agencies, nonprofit organizations in the magazine for all different types of pets, not just dogs. We have cats, birds, horses.
We started it as a way to give Las Vegas, our pet lovers, a resource for different articles, foods that you could feed your animals, parks that are pet friendly, trails, just all kinds of things to get people more involved with their pets.
This is the magazine's 2nd year in participating in the Family Festival.
We're in the Pet Pavilion and we're here to hand out our magazine, have people guess how many dog biscuits are in our jar.
The best thing about the events is meeting our readers. We hear so many times that we're here because of you and we love your magazine and we love the information. So we really enjoy listening to our readers, what they want.
The magazine has something for everyone and has hopes to continue serving the Las Vegas community.
Definitely continue growing the magazine. When we started 6 years ago, we started printing 5,000 copies, and we were just at a few locations throughout Las Vegas. We are now over 350 locations throughout Las Vegas, and we are printing over 30,000 magazines. We really want to support the pet community, from businesses to nonprofits, and our readers. We love them.
Families definitely got to spend some quality time today. For Studio G, I'm Joselle De Los Reyes.
Well, that looked like a barking good time.
Thank you for watching our Thursday episode of Studio G. Remember to follow us on social media at UNLV Studio. I'm Annabelle Rocha.
And I'm Nicole Soto. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Studio G.